Hello, I'm Jon Sermon, a church leader based in the UK and with a strong connection with Africa, in particular Uganda, hence I'm wearing a shirt today made of material on a traditional African pattern that I actually purchased in Uganda and brought it home and had it made up. Now, as many of you know, I'm recording short videos many times during this period of difficulty with the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic, and today I wanted to do so again in the hope that somehow I can offer encouragement to people out there. We need encouragement. We are still in a very difficult situation, and we know that the potential hazards ahead are still very considerable. Now, as it happens, it's a Sunday today. I've been in the church this morning with a small gathered congregation, and rather more than them also joining through their computers on Zoom, one on the telephone. And amongst the things I was covering was a short extract from the book of Jonah in the Bible. Now, I'm guessing a lot of people have heard of the name of Jonah, and you know something about him. Essentially, his story, we know that he was a prophet, he heard from God, and he was required by God to bring God's message to other people. That's the definition of a prophet. And we do know that God wanted him to go to a place over there called Nineveh, and he went the opposite direction to try and get away from God. And of course, the one thing that a lot of people do know about him was that he was thrown overboard from the ship to placate a storm, because he said, I've been disobeying God, and that's why this calamity, you have to do it. He was swallowed by a big fish and later disgorged on the land, and God again told him to go to that place. It was called Nineveh, and this time he did. But essentially, what the story tells us is that the people of Nineveh were living such an immoral life that God was on the point of issuing judgment in a final way to destroy the whole city. But Jonah's job was to go and warn them of this and say, look, turn away from the wrong things so that this won't happen. That was his job. And he went and did it. And sure enough, the people listened. They turned away. They repented, is the Bible's word. And the destruction did not befall them. But Jonah's reaction to this was really strange. He had sat at a little shelter he'd made for himself outside the city, watching, waiting, expecting the destruction. When it didn't happen, he was angry with God. He said, angry enough to die. And he complained at God's failure to destroy the city. Now the thing is, he felt like it was unfair because he'd been sent to warn them, and he just knew God is gracious and compassionate and would forgive. And yet he resented it. And God had to point out to him, shouldn't I care for these people? And he did it by an imagery with a plant that grew up and gave him shade and how he liked it. And then when a worm ate through its roots, it withered, and he was angry about the plant. But he'd done nothing to care for that plant or create it. God's saying, I've created all these people who they need to know they've got another chance. And in the same way, for all of us, we are in really difficult situations. But as a chance to get to know God and to get to see things from a godly perspective as he enabled Jonah to do, it's worth looking into. I'd urge you to do so. God bless you.